What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on Draftkings for Tuesday, January 26th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section, who are your favorite options on DK for tonight's slate? We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with PJ Tucker, Isaac Bonga, John Wall, Alex Len, and TRAE Young. Good God, today is going to be ridiculous. TRAE Young's on the outside looking in. Who will be the top favorites for today? It's time to find out. Alrighty, coming in number 5, it's Jerome Robinson. You guys know how I love shooting guard, small forward eligible players. This is perfect. He's 4K. Got him projected for 22.5 fantasy points. You're hoping for mid-30s, and I think he's in the optimal lineup 40% of the time. I gave him 30 minutes. It's minimal usage, 14%, 10.5 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, nothing crazy. He's a 0.76 fantasy point per minute guy. Taking on Houston. This is a minutes play at a position that fits perfectly. Shooting guard, small forward, guard forward utility, 30 minutes, $4,000. That is what this play is based on. If Jerome Robinson can just get a little hot, it won't take much to push him north of 30 fantasy points. And at that point, he's going to be very, very important on a 3-game slate because he fits everywhere. He will allow you to move the rest of the lineup around to get the best plays in. So, Jerome Robinson today, the number 5 contender. Luckily, number 4, we get to talk about someone with a pulse. Victor Oladipo, point guard, shooting guard eligibility, 7,900, projected for 40. The goal is 50, and he's in the optimal lineup 40% of the time. I'm giving him 33 minutes, 1.2 fantasy point per minute guy now, 21.5 points, almost 6 boards, 5 assists, almost 2 steals. Massive pace up spot against the Wizards, a terrible defensive team. It'll be interesting to see how John Wall and Daniel House integrate with the team. Now with Victor Oladipo, we'll have Cousins at the center position. We don't have Christian Wood, which I would like to see, but the Rockets are slowly getting everybody back, and I'm anxious to see how the pieces fit. But for today, Victor Oladipo is going to have a lot on his plate. Both he and John Wall going to be handling the large majority of ball handling duties for the Rockets. Eric Gordon going to see at least a little bit. I like the idea of having the ball in Victor Oladipo's hands. 28% usage, nothing to sneeze at 7,900. Dual eligibility helps out as well on a 3-game slate. I'm really liking Victor Oladipo today. Next up, number 3, the number 1 contender from FanDuel, that's Bradley Beal. Shooting guard eligibility, 9,900, projected for 50. The goal's 57. He's in the optimal lineup 44% of the time. This is how good of a play he is. He's stuck in just the shooting guard spot, but 36 minutes, a 1.4 fantasy point per minute guy when all of these other guys are off the floor. 38% usage, 32.5 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, north of a steal. And a great matchup against Houston, a team with no defensive identity. If DeMarcus Cousins is the center protecting the paint, you best believe that other offense is going to have a really good game, and Bradley Beal is at the tip of the spear. Well, technically, Russell Westbrook also at the tip of the spear, but that tip is a little rounded off at this point. Bradley Beal, on the other hand, quite pointy. I don't know what that metaphor means, but he is my number 3 contender, and that's really all that matters. He looks fantastic, and he is well worth the pay-up price. Honestly, I didn't see this one coming. Number 2, Marcus Morris. Now, we know that there are a ton of dudes out for the Clippers. No Kawhi Leonard, no Paul George, no Patrick Beverley. So Morris is going to see a little bit of extra usage, a little bit extra minutes. He's small forward, power forward eligible. That helps a lot. He's only 4,700, projected for 27. The goal is 38. He's in the optimal lineup 47% of the time. Again, I gave him 30 minutes, 24% usage, 16 points, 5 boards, and he doesn't really do much else. Taking on Atlanta, a team that's not all that great defensively. It's a neutral pace matchup. Normally, Marcus Morris is a 0.84 fantasy point per minute guy. I've got him more around the lines of like 0.9. So that little boost is enough to really help. And you can put him at 2 separate forward spots. That, again, is very helpful. I think with Paul George out and Kawhi Leonard out and Pat Beverley to an extent, that firms up Marcus Morris just enough that he looks like a fantastic value at 4,700. Now, before we get to number 1, one last reminder, hit that thumbs up. You guys know how I love these. Like, subscribe to the channel. We are just shy of 50,000 subs. We're going to do a big giveaway once we hit 50K. So we want to thank you guys for being the subscribers. We want to get there before the Super Bowl. So if you can, hit that subscribe button and then go follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. You do not want to miss these updates as we get closer to lock. As if there was any doubt on this one, the number one contender by a mile, DeMarcus Cousins, center eligibility, 6K, projected for 42. The goal, 43. He hits the goal 46% of the time. He's in the optimal lineup 70% of the time. You just can't go a different direction. He's the absolute stone cold lock at center in cash games. I'm giving him 30 minutes. If he plays slightly less than that, it doesn't really matter. 1.4 fantasy points per minute. That's the expectation in this one. Increased usage. I've got him projected for 16 points and 13 boards. The big piece of this, 4 assists as well. This is a massive pace up spot for Houston. They gained 4 possessions over their average taking on Washington. And Washington is not good defensively at all. It's going to happen when you have Russell Westbrook and a cast of guys that really shouldn't be in NBA rotations. Having Robin Lopez at center helps a little bit, but not really something that I think Boogie's going to be all that worried about. He's going to have free reign to do whatever he wants. 16 points, 13 rebounds. That is just a baseline projection. But his baseline projection for the day is enough to hit value. That's why you see him in the optimal lineup 70% of the time. Don't overthink it. DeMarcus Cousins is the best play on DraftKings, bar none. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Tuesday, January 26th. I'm not on the strategy show. I'm not on live before lock. So this is all you get from me. So keep your eyes peeled to my Twitter. I'll be back again tomorrow morning with another edition of the Contenders. Good luck tonight, guys. I will see you again mañana.